I guess now would be a good time to say I need new spur gear, or to make a video saying how to do it the right way to where it doesn't keep stripping out. A lot of people have this problem. This video is made for a specific person who asked me the question, like, why does my spur gear keep stripping out on my slash? Like, I said it the right way, or I supposedly said it the right way, but I've never had any problems with this spur gear until now, because I'm not running the stock spur gear or the stock pinion. This pinion came off of an Emax brushless edition, so yeah, that's not melting or anything. This came off of a Slash 4-wheel drive, and it's got a lot beefier teeth on them, so they shouldn't strip out as easily if you put them in the right way. I mean, I've been running 3S lipo through this thing and all over the place, doing wheelies and stuff, and it was fine until the body, my Baja Bug body. Y'all saw that in my last video. It bent down and nicked the tooth off, and it just sheared them all off one by one by one. Anyways, there's a certain way you have to connect the spur gear. I would say it's an art or science, but it's not. It's pretty simple. I'll show you how to do it. There's, like, people just normally think you just take it out, screw it in a new one, don't worry about anything, just move the gear mesh all the way over this way and say it's good, but it's not. I'll show you the right way to do it. First step is to take off the wheel on the side of the pinion gear. It makes it a whole lot easier to get up in there and to unscrew the spur, because without, you have to like bend down the tire and all this, and it's really annoying. I just go ahead and take it off. It doesn't take long. Next thing you want to do is take a 2.5mm hex screwdriver and put it in one of the three screw holes. Put it in the screw holes, whatever that means. Hold the gear in place and unscrew it. It's not that difficult. And fast forward warp speed. Alright, once you have all those off, you're going to come in from behind and pry it out with a screwdriver. Just kind of turn it a little bit, so my hand's in the way. Turn it a little bit and then turn a little bit, pry it out. Try and pry it out evenly so you don't mess up the teeth on there. And as you can see, this one was completely just ripped apart. It stripped out a little bit right there on that one spot. It's kind of missing. And I just said screw it, and I floored it and let it melt and watch smoke go everywhere. It was pretty funny. Go ahead and rip your new one out of the bag. Hold on, having issues. It's not that hard to get something out of a freaking bag. Okay. Make sure your new one and your old one are the same size. Make sure your teeth are the same distance apart as your spur gear or as your pinion gear. That's like trying to make these fit together. The teeth are different, and that's just not going to work. This is when it starts to get to the spot where people start stripping them out. You line up the holes, you push it in as far as you can. Now listen to this part very carefully. When you're putting these in, you just need to tighten. You start with one, you tighten it until you just start barely feeling it get tight. And you get another one. Until it just starts getting tight. And do the same thing with the third one. And what you're going to want to do now is turn it like 1, 2, 3 times, and go to the next one. Why is it so hard to put it in? 1, 2, 3. Next one, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to be 3, but just be consistent going around in a circle. You can do 1, you can do 2 turns, doesn't matter. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of doing half turns, but that's most of the key, is just to make it to where it's not wobbly. It evens it out flat. I'll show you in a second when I spin it. But you don't want to just tighten one completely down, then tighten the next one completely down, because when you spin it, it's going to be all lopsided and crazy looking. See how that gear isn't wobbling hardly at all? I mean, it is a little bit once you spin it. You can kind of see it, but it needs to be as flat as you can make it. I had an absolute brain fart at the beginning. Remember to loosen up your motor first, but mine was already set perfect, so it didn't really matter. But whenever you do yours, loosen up the motor to where you can move it back and move it to the farthest back position as it can be, and then go for it. This is the part that everyone screws up on, and this is what causes everyone to strip their gears out all the time, is the actual gear mesh. If you don't know what that is the distance between the two gears. Like this, the gear mesh is like 0. I mean, they're completely rubbing against it. And when it's running like that, it just whines and it's super loud. Heats up your motor, heats up your ESC, heats up your battery. It's just no good can come from that. When it's too loose, it just rattles and skips and it'll break it also. You have to have it in just amount of distance in between them. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah, you can. And how you're going to do that is you're going to get one sheet of paper and you're going to move the gear or the motor mount as far in as you possibly can and have it somewhat tight, a little bit on the car, like not tight at all to where you can still move it with your hand. So you're going to take the sheet of paper and you're just going to feed it into the gears like that, roll it around a little bit, kind of push the motor in. And then while you have it pushed in, you're going to tighten up that bottom screw to where it stays in place for you. And pull it out. And bam. You got that you got the perfect gear mesh just from a sheet of paper. You got to be just a normal sheet of notebook paper, not some thick crap or some thin like wax paper or anything. Just a normal sheet of notebook paper. You just stick it in there, roll it in between, and pull the motor tight. When you pull it out, that'll be the perfect distance between them, and you shouldn't ever strip them out unless either something gets in it or it's just time for them to strip out. Because this gear is one of those things that's supposed to strip out before something else does in your transmission. So that I'm glad they didn't make that steel. You can buy steel ones, but if you buy a steel spur gear or like an aluminum one or something, your spur gear itself isn't going to strip out, but other things in your transmission or in your motor or in somewhere else down the line is going to strip out. So I would just keep this plastic, and I'm getting off topic. But anyways, that's how you change your spur gear, and that's how you change it without stripping it out 100 times or a million times. I learned the hard way. I spent over $100 on spur gears, a brand new car. So y'all subscribe, comment, rate, do whatever. I'll be making more videos soon. I want to say thank you guys for 50 subscribers. I was about to say 100. I wish 100 subscribers. Try to make it 100 subscribers. I've got 50 subscribers. I never thought it'd go this far. Let's go for 50 more. Y'all get all your friends to say, hey, go subscribe to this guy. He's cool. Or like send my videos places and stuff like that. Because more subscribers I have, more motivation I have. And adios. Bye. Take note that my spur gear is not the one that it comes with. The one that it comes with looks like this. And they kind of come inside like that and hug the inside of there. So you can actually fit your gear cover on. Because with this one I can't. With this one I can't put the gear cover on, so it's just open. But yeah, that's what it looks like. It's the same concept, taking it apart. So just do the same thing I just told you and you'll still be fine.